Hello again, and welcome back to the channel. I have a little review today, something a little bit different for you. I appreciate that you guys are on YouTube and you're using your digital nous to source your knowledge and your learning through such modern media. But back in the day, there was something called a book. So when you look at John's technique, he has a wonderfully straightforward and simple approach to his art, but it's also incredibly artistic, and some of the small touches are just beautiful. So also with John, you've probably seen some of his artwork before, but you probably haven't realised it's John's. If you look at the Yorkshire Gold tea packet that the Yorkshire tea is packaged in, that's John's artwork on there. So what I'll do is I'll show you a few pages of the book, and I'll talk about some of the processes John talks about, and then we'll have a little wrap up and I can tell you really what my thoughts are on this. So this is Pen and Wash, an artist guide combining ink and watercolour. And yeah, you can see there's an example of the sort of work that John does there. So the book covers materials, equipment, basics, pencil drawing composition, sketchbooks, pens, watercolour, dynamic watercolour, leaving white space, further techniques to develop your own style, and then some reference material in the back like suppliers. Now, I'm obviously not going to go into a huge amount of detail here, but there's plenty of beautiful examples of John's artwork in here. He talks about his materials, a little bit about his painting approach. The good thing about the way he covers perspective and composition is it's really simple. It's comprehensive, but it's simple. One of the things I really like about this book generally is the artist is present, he's talking about his work, but there's no waffle, it's not very self-indulgent. He's not talking about a vast amount of his influences, he's just talking about the nuts and bolts of how he works, and that's really refreshing, but it also makes it a very easy read and a very easy book to sort of reference and dip into. He's obviously got my obsession with sketchbooks. I think it's a disease that a lot of artists share. Now these lovely step-by-step guides are very much like a really simplified YouTube video. He'll start with his line work, build up the line work, add in the elements, the sky, and then you end up with a finished drawing. And it's really nice actually to see it in that form. And this is a really interesting chapter. One of the things that's quite specifically unique about John's work, he's one of the first artists I really saw who, in this line and wash genre, who would specifically leave negative space in the drawings. There's a few examples here of just how effective this technique is. And here he's showing you how this, basically all the organics in the picture are coloured in, and yet the inorganics, you know, the walls, even though I guess that is organic, but you know what I mean, the man-made stuff is left unpainted. Although he does occasionally add some sort of shadow details in. That's definitely a technique I've taken from John. It was seeing his videos on YouTube, it was the first time I ever saw these techniques actually being used. So he introduced me to a lovely form of art that, you know, has very much become my style. So I never want to recommend anything that I don't wholeheartedly believe in, because all I'm doing is effectively undermining my own brand. But I can tell you that this book is brilliant, and obviously it's available from all good bookshops. And yeah, I would definitely get a copy. It's great looking at stuff on YouTube. It's great sitting down and doing, you know, step-by-step tutorials. But we are artists. We deal in paper. We deal with pen. And actually sitting down and reading the book is a very different thing. And actually giving yourself the time to do that. I often think that interacting with screens generally is not necessarily good for humans, whereas interacting with paper and print, I don't know, it just feels a bit more healthy. So I suspect that's probably one of the last book reviews I'll be doing for a while. And I may be reviewing some paints and some sketchbooks and some new materials I've been playing with, but that's all to come. So thanks for stopping by. Like and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Cheers, bye.